Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. Welcome to the weekend. It is Saturday morning. Hope your week has gone well. Hope you hit exactly the goals you wanted to hit this week. And if you're not quite done yet, there's still time to pull out the stops and get the last few boxes checked for the week. Let's get into today's message. As every other day this week, we don't have just one teacher that guides us into our meditation space. We have a whole bunch of great teachers this week. Today's message starts this way. A trap we easily fall into when we're trying to do better, to grow, to heal, is reaching for an ideal way of being, an ideal way of feeling, as kind of a proof of our progress. It's easy to be disappointed by negative thoughts and feelings and read them as a step backwards in our attempt to grow. And in doing so, we can easily be caught in a cycle of self-rejection. Beatrix, a very good morning. Happy Saturday morning to you. Somebody, good morning. Hello, awesome seeing you. We experience a wide range of emotions: joy and sorrow, excitement and fear, anger and contentment. These emotions are not good or bad, they simply are. They're part of the human condition, a testament to our capacity to feel deeply and connect with the world around us. Dan Harris says, meditation is not about feeling a certain way. Meditation is about being able to feel the way you feel, learning how to feel. Having acceptance of every emotion you experience as valid and valuable is in essence your own acceptance of you. Take a moment to just think through that. What is the message I give myself if my arms are open to the emotion I'm experiencing? If I'm opening my arms to the emotion that this body is going through, isn't that the clearest proof of acceptance for myself? And when you have unconditional acceptance for yourself, all feelings are held and released with a little bit more ease. Nothing gets stuck because everything is allowed. Anthony, good evening. Great seeing you, brother. Ariana Huffington says, meditation is not about stopping thoughts, but recognizing that we are more than our thoughts and our feelings. It's not about stopping the thoughts from happening, but realizing that those thoughts are just a fraction of what we are. We are more than those thoughts. And don't you just prove it when your arms are open to those emotions, when you can have acceptance for that emotion being experienced? Isn't that just proof that you are beyond just that emotion? John Kabat-Zinn says, it is indeed a radical act of love to just sit down and be quiet for a time by yourself. And Kathleen McDonald says, meditation is not spacing out or running away. In fact, it is being totally honest with ourselves. And that one I really love. Meditation is not about spacing out, running away, or blissing out in some other space that's not right here, right now. Meditation is, in fact, in that moment, being completely honest with ourselves. I love that. Anami, good morning. Hello, happy Saturday. Welcome to the weekend. Just a note on this last thought by Kathleen McDonald about being honest with ourselves. This level of total honesty only becomes available in the presence of our own complete acceptance of ourselves. Without this level of acceptance, we are never truly safe to be honest with ourselves. And that is the foundation of this. Yes, we need to get to a place where we are extremely honest with ourselves. But how do we get there if we don't have acceptance? How do we get there in the presence of harsh self-judgment and criticism? The only way we get to be this honest with ourselves is in the presence of our complete acceptance of ourselves. So in the spirit of learning how to create acceptance for every thought and every emotion, our journey today is come to your senses, a very simple and practical way to learn how to allow our body to feel whatever experience it is having. So if you're ready, you can close your eyes and we can float away together, starting with the first few big breaths. Take a deep breath in and out. Take a deep breath in and out. A deep inhale and let it go. Deep breath in and out. One more big breath in and let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine, lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, let all of it go. With every exhale, soften. With every breath out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and drop your head. Our journey today is the journey of checking in with this body and checking in with every experience this body has. We'll start right now as you continue your full body breathing to check in with this body. With your next exhale, as your body softens, bring your attention to your forehead, to the space between your eyes. Do you sometimes find yourself carrying a frown there? And when you do you remind yourself to soften? Can you replace the frown with a smile and let your body feel the effect of the smile? With your next exhale, as your body softens, bring your attention to the area in and around your mouth. Are your jaw muscles often clenched tightly, or your tongue pressed hard against the roof of your mouth, or perhaps even grinding your teeth. When you find yourself clenched tightly that way, do you stop and have a conversation with this body? Do you let this body know that it would be safe to soften? With your next exhale, bring your attention to your neck and shoulders. Are your shoulder muscles often tight and tense? Do you sometimes find your shoulders pulled up high and tight, perhaps even level with your ears? In those moments, do you remind yourself to take a few big breaths and roll out those shoulders? With your next exhale, bring your attention to your stomach area, to those abdominal muscles that so easily hold on to tension for decades. It's the place where tension hides the most easily. And when you feel your stomach muscles tensed tightly, do you remember to have this conversation with your body? Do you let your body know that it would be safe to be soft? With your next exhale, bring your attention to your legs and your arms, and specifically your hands, because that is one more space where tension can hide under the radar for a long time. Tightly clenched fists, sometimes even with nail marks indented in our palms. Remember to have a conversation with this body. You are safe to be soft. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, continuing to help our body to stretch and adjust and settle down into softness. Take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward and roll out your neck muscles forward and to the left, and forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. You can lean your upper body over to the left and also lean your upper body over to the right. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence, or at least becoming as present as we can possibly be in this moment, we can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this is always a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, with every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body. Feel how softness slips in and settles in every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. And feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention. No, sorry, I'm on the wrong spot of today's meditation. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath, but hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, welcome yourself to this body. Perhaps even wrap your arms around this body and let it know that you have gratitude. Speak to this body, say, "Hello body, I really love having you." Take your next big breath. Today's meditation is a journey of our senses. Now you can experience it simply as checking in with your senses. Or you can go much deeper than that and realize that this meditation, this exercise, is about every experience our body has. We're just making it easier by focusing on the senses. Can you practice having acceptance for every experience that this body has? Can you open your arms to every emotion this body experiences? Can you take a step backwards and be the observer of all your experiences? Let's make that easy. Let's put that into practice right now. The journey of our senses starts at the top with what we could see and then works its way downwards through our bodies. So with your first big breath, as you dive deep into you, the question here is, what would be the most obvious thing that you would see if you were to open your eyes? Now be playful with this and do it with your eyes closed. Search with your mind. Find that obvious thing. And as you take a deep breath and dive deep into you, study this obvious thing. See it from all its angles, all of its color, and find all of its texture. Take your next big breath. Then change gears, and with your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, find what would be the least obvious thing in the room that you are in. If you were to open your eyes and look around, find that with your mind, and as you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, study this less obvious object. See it from all of its angles, find all of its texture, all of its color. Take your next big breath. Take a moment to notice the ease with which you are able to take a step back and be the observer. Be the witness to the experience your mind's eye is having. We'll take a step down to our ears and what we can hear, and let's practice the same again. Be the observer. As you take a deep breath and dive deep into you, what is the most obvious sound you can hear right now? And listen deeper into this obvious sound. Can you hear the different layers of vibration in this obvious sound? Take your next big breath. let's change gears. We're still staying with what we can hear, but this time I want you to find the least obvious sound, something that's barely a whisper, and really stretch yourself. Lean into this faint sound and see how much of it you can discern. Take your next big breath. Take a moment to recognize the ease with which you were able to be the observer in this example. Could you apply the same to the thoughts you think? And to be more specific, the thoughts your brain comes up with. They're not necessarily even the thoughts you're consciously thinking. A brain just produces a stream of thoughts because that's what a brain does. Are you becoming a better observer of these thoughts without getting sucked into them too much? We'll take another step down, and for the next 2 stops, your nose and what you can smell, and your mouth and what you can taste. For these 2 stops, change your breathing to whatever it needs to be. So next up, your nose and what you can smell. Now that's hard to do when you're just sitting for a meditation. But be curious. Is there a smell that you would pick up right now? Take your next big breath. Let's change gears, and this time as you take a deep breath and dive deep into you, be curious enough to see if you can find any other smell. Anything besides the first obvious smell. Take your next big breath. Notice the ease with which you are able to be the witness of what your nose smells. Could you apply that to the emotions that your body sometimes feels? Could you equally be the witness that takes a step back and just creates space for this body to feel whatever it is that it feels? Who would you be in the moment that you can hold that space? Hold the space for the body to feel. We'll take another step down to your mouth and what you can taste. And again, be curious. This is hard to do while you just sit for a meditation, but such a valid exercise. As you take a deep breath and dive deep into you, see if you can find any obvious taste right now. Take your next big breath. We'll change gears, and this time as you take a deep breath and dive deep into you, be curious enough to see if you can find any other taste. Anything besides the first obvious taste. Take your next big breath. Notice the ease with which you were able to be the observer. Could you apply this to yourself too? Could you apply this to the mistakes you make, the things you've done wrong? Could you take a step back and have acceptance for this human being who is trying but still sometimes falling? Could you just be the observer and hold that space steady? We have one more stop, the surface of your skin. So with your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, scan the surface of your skin. Find where is it that you find the clearest sensation. Dive into that spot and see if you can find different pressures in that one area. Take your next big breath. We'll change gears one more time. This time, search the surface of your skin and see where you can find the slightest sensation. Perhaps you can just feel cloth touching skin. Or perhaps you can feel the air touch your forehead or your cheek. Take your next big breath. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, slipping out of the breath holding space and into the next. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. This very simple exercise teaches us that we are able to take a step back and be the observer. It's really easy to do that with our physical senses. And while it might take more practice to do that for our inner senses, it's really not that different. When we can take a step back and observe what we're thinking, observe what we're feeling, observe how our body is reacting to something that this person said. When we take this step back, it's never about pretending it's not happening. I'm not talking about dissociating. But this is about being very present with what is happening. This is what Kathleen MacDonald meant in the quotes where she says, meditation is not spacing out or running away. In fact, it's being totally honest with ourselves. How do we access that part of ourselves that can be completely honest without judgment, without criticism? Honest and also have acceptance. Well, it is the practice of being the observer. Seeing everything that we are going through in this moment, and simply creating a space for it to be felt. This takes practice, but everything we practice, we become better at. And what you are becoming better at is being the greater part of yourself, your higher self, your wisdom, your soul. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for the opportunity to put this into practice. Stepping into the strongest part of me that has the ability to be with whatever the situation is. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for this body. Thank you for this journey of really getting to know everything about this body. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for the love and the acceptance of this body. And when I say that, I mean the acceptance that every birthday this body is in fact a year older. And having complete acceptance for that too. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for the space that I'm learning to hold. Space for this body to feel whatever it is experiencing. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for sharing this space with us today. The thought that comes to my mind is we sometimes have experiences where it feels like this body is failing us. That's real. And we can take a moment to have that experience be felt. But do try to come back to a friendly acceptance of this body that's always trying. Because when we get caught up in that war with the body, the war in which we feel this body is failing us, that just leads to us not accepting ourselves. It leads to us abandoning ourselves. This heart has been beating for every breath you've ever taken. Please remember that. Wrap your arms around this body and say thank you. Thank you, Beatrix. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Anami. Thank you, Sunmarie. Wishing you all a beautiful day and weekend. See you soon. Ciao, ciao.